Hi everyone, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel if you're a returning viewer or subscriber. In today's video I'm going to be doing a vinyl update and showing you 8 new vinyls that I bought / received recently, as in within the last kind of like couple of months. And this is quite a big number actually, but it was my birthday a couple of days ago and I did receive 3 records for that. No, 4. So that's my excuse. But we have another update. I think I'm going to try and do these quarterly, so one for each season. My last one was in spring of this year and then I did a full vinyl collection kind of earlier on in the year. I'm just going to do updates every now and then maybe eventually we will do a full collection again once my collection's kind of significantly changed. But for now I've got 8 records. I'm very excited to show you all of them because they're all ones that I have been wanting to get for a while / have been eagerly like anticipating the release of. If you enjoyed the video and you like my kind of vibe, then be sure to subscribe and give it a thumbs up because that's how I tell that you liked what you saw and you'd like to see more of these in the future. I'm going to show the vinyl and the pressing and everything like that. It's kind of special, and I'm also going to talk about favourite songs and a little backstory about why I have the record / who gave it to me / where it was from. Let's get going. So the first one I have to mention here was one that I have wanted for a very long time. I have this very tragic story, but first of all I'll show you what the record is, and that is Amir by Tamino. So Tamino is an artist who I discovered a few years ago, instantly fell in love with his work, and I've been wanting to pick up this vinyl kind of ever since I saw it. I first saw it in HMV and it was in their kind of throw out basket of records that they were kind of not going to be stocking anymore, and it was like £10. I only listened to a couple of the songs on it, so I was like, maybe I won't do that. I have limited space in my room and so I only want to own records that I fully love, like every single track on. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna skip out on it and just get it in the future. Anyways, HMV obviously stopped stocking it, and I went to look at it on Amazon, and Amazon were charging like 50 quid for it, so 50-60 quid, and I was like, this is one of my greatest regrets, having not bought that in HMV. So when I saw that this dropped down to like £20 or something on Amazon, I can't remember the exact price, I just snapped up immediately, and I'm so glad I did because now it's back to being a little bit more expensive. I do recommend having like a wish list on Amazon, even if you're not going to purchase the record on there, to just like keep track of prices, because sometimes records that are really expensive do just randomly drop for like one day and then you can kind of snap them up. But yeah, this is Amir by Tamino. It's my favourite of his projects and it's also his most popular project. There's a 2-disc 2 LPs in this. My favourite songs on here are all the kind of popular ones like Habibi and Persephone, Cigar, Indian Night, all those. But my favourite currently of all time my favourite right now that I would say was my favourite of all time is Tame. So good. And that's the back of that as well. And this is just pressed on standard black vinyl, and it's in these rubbish paper sleeves that are so annoying to get in and out, but I will hopefully be transferring them into inner sleeves, but for now it just sits in an outer sleeve. I love this so much. Absolutely perfect sort of music to be listening to on vinyl. It sounds beautiful and very glad to finally have it in my collection after all that drama. Sorry about this lighting, it looks like it's going to pour with rain, so I think the light will change a bit as we go throughout the video. I went to London with Abby and we're going to see Inhaler for the 3rd time. It was a very spontaneous last minute decision and it was quite an experience. It was like an intimate gig, but whatever, that's not what I'm talking about. While I was in London, they had a little record store around the corner from the venue and we popped in there of course because we're both vinyl collectors. They had the little Submarine soundtrack. If you didn't know, this soundtrack was written and created whatever by Alex Turner, who is the lead singer of Arctic Monkeys, which is my favourite band. He's also a singer in the Last Shadow Puppets, and I love all of his work and I love his voice obviously. So I decided to pick up this soundtrack. I listen to this a lot on Spotify when I'm going to sleep. Lots of these tracks are on my sleep playlist, so putting this on is just like late night winding down vibes, and it's beautiful. This is a tiny little 10-inch, just so cute. It comes with a download code, and then the sleeve is just the stripe and then tiny little baby. So cute. This is beautiful, honestly. I haven't actually seen the film, but I do own the book for this film. It's down here, you can't see it, and I actually bought it from the charity shop like a couple of days before I found this in the record store, which was a very funny coincidence. Yeah, this was nothing, it was like £8 or something like that, and I've wanted it for a while, so very happy to snatch that. But I am in need of sleeves for it, like 10-inch sleeves. This is my first 10-inch and it's so cute, even in person like it's cuter. Favourite songs on this? I love them all, but I'd say Hiding Tonight or Glass in the Park. Maybe Glass in the Park, that's my like peak going to sleep song. Abby, who's my kind of gig buddy and also the person who I found Submarine with, gave me actually a vinyl that had been in her collection. I'll explain the story, but the record is Lonerism by Tame. So this is one of his first projects and I was very excited to be able to have this. This is one that I've been wanting for a long time. This is the cover, that's the back, and then it's a gatefold again. Lyrics inside. I haven't actually looked at this properly since she gave it to me. Plain sleeves and standard black pressing. Love Tame. I saw him live in Paris last summer and it's truly one of the best experiences ever. So good. Best vibes, stunning. I'd go and see him again in a heartbeat. The story with that is that I was with her in my local record store and they were selling a box set of Lonerism with like a bunch of fun things. She bought that and didn't need her other copy of it, so she very, very kindly gave it to me free of charge. Favourite songs on here are classics. Elephant and Feels Like a We Only Go Backwards. I'm very basic when it comes to that album, I'm sorry. Speaking of my local record store, The Greater Wings by Julie Byrne. Okay, let's get this out of the packaging. The Greater Wings by Julie Byrne. Julie Byrne is one of my favourite ever singers. I love her music so much. She has a beautiful kind of deep mellow voice and she plays the acoustic guitar with it. I own her debut album and I showed it in my full record collection, and I urge everyone to check out her music because she's super underrated, but this is her second project and the second I heard about it I knew I wanted to check it out. When the singles dropped I was like, yeah, I definitely want to get it on vinyl. So this was my little birthday present to myself because I got it from my local record store and there was an indie exclusive pressing. Beautiful rich blue colour. It's looking a bit lighter on camera but it's so lovely and I'm so thankful to have got this fun pressing, and I'm very happy for her to have all these pressings. My record store was displaying it and I felt so proud because she's such a small artist and the fact that like her work's being promoted is wonderful. She's so good. I definitely recommend checking out her music if you haven't heard of her, which I would probably bet money that you hadn't, but yeah, that's The Greater Wings by Julie Byrne. Favourite songs? Right, can't even see them. I love the little instrumental, I think it's called Summer's End on side 1, but my favourite so far is Summer Glass, which is one of the singles that was dropped before release. Abby gave me a little vinyl for my birthday this year and it was the coolest little thing to own. It's a very, very special gift. I was so surprised to receive this because I genuinely thought this was not being made anymore, and it wasn't, but they randomly reissued it, and it is the single to One for the Road by Arctic Monkeys. The B-side of this is called You're So Dark, so this is just a little 45. It's so cute. Precious. This was completely out of the blue, but I think it was Arctic Monkeys website or it was on Domino, their record label. There was a restock of this, the 2023 reissue, and Abby saw it come in and snapped out for me and herself. It's very cool actually because there were 3 singles with the AM album. There was One for the Road, which had the B-side of You're So Dark. There was Do I Wanna Know, which had the B-side of 2013. And there was Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High, which had the B-side of Stop the World. I actually have the deluxe AM, which came with a little 45, which had the 2 B-sides of Do I Wanna Know and Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High. But I was missing the B-side for One for the Road, which is already like one of my favourite songs on that album, and You're So Dark is just iconic, legendary song. Definitely recommend listening to it. My lovely mum got me a record that I asked for my birthday. She bought me the soundtrack to La La Land. So this has vocals from the actors who sang the songs, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. It also has the single by John Legend that's featured in the film. It's funny actually because I watched this film on my kind of birthday eve. La La Land's one of my favourite films. I kind of really fell in love with it, or like reignited my love for it. So receiving this soundtrack and being able to listen to that, which I have done for listen through, was wonderful. I want as many soundtracks on vinyl of my favourite films as possible, so this was definitely one I wanted to add to my collection. Sadly it came in this really flimsy envelope, so it has got bends in the cover. The actual disc is perfect, that's the main thing that counts, and it's not like a particularly rare pressing or anything like that, it's just the standard black. Yeah, very happy to finally own that. And then finally my little brother bought me 2 records for my birthday. So he got me I'm Confessin by Frank Sinatra. We found this in a record store in London, and it's fun actually because I own a couple of compilation albums of Frank Sinatra's. Thankfully neither of those have any of the songs on this album on them, which is great. I haven't played this to see how it plays, but I trust this little indie record store to have, you know, checked it out. I'm sure it sounds wonderful. I love Frank Sinatra. I'd love to get my hands on as much of it as I possibly can. And then lastly, he got me a very exciting one, very much more expensive, A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. I own the Let It Be album and I own the Blue album and the Red album, like the compilation ones, but I don't own much else from the Beatles. There's a couple that I would love to get, but I was not expecting this one at all. This is a very cool gift. This actually came in a sleeve, which is wonderful because I've run out of outer sleeves. Apparently the man in the store said that this is quite like a loud pressing, but it doesn't have any skips or anything like that. I haven't played it yet, but I can't wait to, and this is a very beautiful special gift. Very, very lucky to have received this, and I can predict how much this must have cost. This is also an original first pressing, if I didn't say so already. So you have it everybody, those are the 8 new pieces of music that I've added to my collection recently. I'm thrilled about all of them. I feel particularly lucky because so many of these were gifts, also so many that have been on my wish list for a very long time. I'm very, very happy with all of my recent additions to the collection. If you'd like to see more of these videos in the future, be sure to subscribe to stick around. I'll have my full vinyl collection as well as my previous update linked down below if you want to see more of what I own and to have a bit more of a deeper look into my music taste. But yeah, that's all I have for this video, and if you decide to stick around, I'll see you on Wednesday for another one. Bye bye.